When most people take their first trip in a new RV, they do an overnight somewhere close to home. It only makes sense, right? If anything breaks or leaks, or if you forget something, it's no big deal. Our first trip would be 10 days and about 1,600 miles. Perfect. After 3 years exploring the waterways of North America, we've traded our trawler for a trailer. But we're still just passing through. Really though, our first stop would be a 2-night stay at a state park only about 60 miles from home, at Green Lakes State Park. Our first time leveling, shocking the wheels, and hooking up power went without a hitch, and everything functioned correctly. The whole area was very nice, and during our one full day there, we hiked a couple of the nature trails. It does look like it, doesn't it?
again.
On Wednesday, May 31st, we packed up for a long drive to our next stop, Geneva on the Lake, Ohio. If we had taken Route 90 all the way, it would have been about a 6-hour drive. But we wanted to avoid the 4 lanes and tolls, so we chose a more rural route to the south. This ended up adding about 3 hours to our travel time and making for a long day. We arrived at Geneva on the Lake State Park at about 7 p.m., found our site, number 21, and got settled in. Interestingly, when we did our boat trip on the Great Loop in 2021, we stayed for several days in the marina section of this same park. On Thursday, June 1st, we took off to explore the surrounding area. We picked up a few supplies and had lunch at a local brew pub. The next day was Friday, and time to pack up and hit the road again. This time we'd be heading for Anderson, Indiana, where we'd be staying for a few days at Mounds State Park. This leg of the trip would be about 330 miles. We made the trip to Indiana to attend a friend's wedding, which was on Saturday the 3rd. On Sunday, we walked the nature trails and toured the ancient Native American mounds that are the main points of interest here. We also toured the Bronnenberg House, once owned by the family that settled here years ago. Monday, June 5th, we begin a circuitous route home. Our first stop would be near South Bend, Indiana, where we stayed at a mini golf attraction that was also a member of Harvest Host. Harvest Host is a nationwide network of businesses that offer free overnight RV parking, with the understanding that you'll patronize their business. Uh-oh. On June 6th, we headed through Detroit, Michigan, across the Canadian border, to another Harvest Host location. This time, we'd be staying at Sprucewood Shores Estate Winery. We did a wine flight tasting, bought a picnic basket of food items, and picked up a bottle of wine for home. This was a perfect example of how the Harvest Host program is supposed to work. June 7th would be a shorter travel day, as we continued eastward along the north shore of Lake Erie to an Ontario Conservation Area campsite. This would be our final stop on the way home. That'd be fine. After getting set up, we took a walk around the area. June 8th, and we packed up for a long 330-mile drive home. It was a good trip overall, and both the truck and travel trailer did well. Setup and tear down went smoothly, and nothing broke. It's a learning process, and hopefully it'll just get easier as we get more experience. See you next time.